Something that keeps popping up for me recently is mindset, and I guess closely linked to that is mental health. So I want to talk a little bit today about how to try and create like a strong, almost invincible mindset. Obviously, invincible is the goal, but it's probably not going to happen, right? But you want to build as strong mindset as possible, especially to help you in those tough moments in life. Because man, the world is chaotic right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of anger. And, one of the ways you can sort of try and at least combat that is by, looking after yourself a little bit, and especially your mindset. So I want to talk about a few things about that. I read something really interesting this week, and it was some words that just made me think about, our mindsets. And obviously, fear and confidence are, I guess, opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to mindsets. And then this one is some words around fear. So it goes, the key to being fearless is having nothing to lose. And the only way to have nothing to lose is to realize nothing in the world belonged to you to begin with. Okay. It's quite kind of like deep and worth having a thought about that. But I want to talk a bit about the mindset, right? And I truly believe that your mindset is both your strongest and weakest thing, okay? You can literally do absolutely anything you want if you put your mind to it. But at the same time, your mind can flip and take you down, right? And make you think the sort of worst things whatsoever. So it's literally, this machine that we somehow need to sort of find a little bit of control, get a little bit of control over, right? And the only thing separating you from the future person that you want to be is like your mindset, your attitude to life, and how you kind of like deal with things. So the mind is definitely a muscle, and it's something that we can sort of practice to sort of make stronger and improve on. And so I want to talk a little bit about lots of things to do with mindset that have come up for me over the years. And they'll just be little like sort of snippets, but things for you to also kind of like think about or maybe delve more into if you kind of want to. So I truly believe that like fear and confidence are like so sort of important in terms of how we kind of like understand ourselves, and also just realize that they're like on the opposite spectrum of the sort of mindset scale. And you're going to experience both of these in your life all the time, probably every single day, and how fearful you are or how confident you are impacts the decisions that you make, right? It impacts how you view the world. It impacts how you react to things. And if we can build a mindset that is obviously sort of more confident, then that is the best scenario for everyone, for you, for yourself, for the people around you, for how you see the world, for how you exist, for how you feel, especially, like the body holds on to fear, right? And you don't really want that, because you can kind of like, I guess, get stressed out, anxious, sick. But if you are sort of very confident, you give out this sort of great energy and aura, and like people even want to be around you. So, the more we can build that sort of confidence, the better. I'd really like to also invite you to think about the idea of an abundance mindset, right? And there's so much abundance in the world, right? But people are not open to kind of like tapping into it. It's great to have like there's no advantage, should I say, to a pessimistic mindset. Even if you're right, it's kind of still a miserable way to live. But there really is so much out there that there's enough for us all to go around. Maybe society has just got us into this state where we believe maybe we're not worthy even, maybe it's for other people, but that's just total garbage. Like man, you got to start talking to yourself and realizing that there is so much out there for all of us. And it's for the taking, right? So it will give you a different life experience if you start changing your mindset to like everything that is out there for all of us to be part of. Another thing around mindset, I think is so important is like there's a direct link between your physicality and your mindset, right? People that are generally fit, healthy, look after themselves, have a different mindset, right? They have a different outlook on life. They give off a different energy. They attract different people towards them. Even if you say like you do really well without that, what are you actually giving up because you're not fit and healthy? There's plenty of like say tech guys out there or whatever other billionaires and stuff out there that maybe they've been super successful for whatever reason, but like imagine how extra successful they could be if they were really, really healthy. Maybe it would change their mindset in terms of like what they offer to the world instead of just wanting everything for themselves. Maybe they'd want to help the world, if they had a different outlook, if they were just in a better space physically. So take care of your health seriously, and like you're taking care of your mind. You're thinking more clearly, and you're just a nicer person to be around, really, like if you're in good health, right? So yeah, that's one thing. There's another thing around a growth versus fixed mindset, and there's a great book about it by a lady called Carol Dweck, and she talks about people with a growth mindset at a very high level. They see challenges that a kind of challenge is a little bit of a speed bump in your life. You almost invite them into your life. You're not scared of them at all because you realize actually, cool, this is here to maybe teach me a lesson, right? And that's what a growth mindset person sort of thinks like. They definitely don't feel fear a challenge. Then people with fixed mindsets, though, like they will see something and they will think that the world is like conspiring against them, and that they can't get over this, that it's the worst sort of thing ever, that they'll, if they fail, they'll see themselves as a failure, and then they'll have this like victim mindset, and they'll take things personally. So, the more you can sort of shift out of that sort of fixed mindset towards the growth mindset, literally your outlook changes on everything, right? And what a way to live if you don't see things as like, you don't take them personally, or you don't see them as a failure. You just see them as like a learning experience, and that's kind of like the goal that where you want to get to. I also read a really interesting quote, and it kind of like ties in a lot with mindset as well. And it says, "You will never stub your toe standing still," right? So, like you're not risking anything unless you do something, and that's what we need to do in life. We have to take like a sort of few risks to get somewhere. And yeah, just sort of the more you start doing things, the more you start taking action, obviously the more you're opening yourself up to, but you're also like opening yourself up to abundant things, not just negative things. So how do you actually shift your mindset? And again, I read something that I think is really, really cool, and sort of very important. And it goes, imperfect consistency beats ideal effort that only occurs in fits and starts. Almost everything worth doing is a long game. Consistency is an unsung superpower. And seriously, like for me, that's one of the most important things in life, is like, man, you can get so overwhelmed if you want to make like big drastic changes, and then you end up hating it and doing nothing, or not even starting. But if you just take small little steps every single day, like, and you just keep on it, like you build this momentum, you start feeling different, you start feeling better. You're able to take on bigger challenges when they come on, and you play the long game, man. You change everything. So you don't get overwhelmed. You actually start enjoying things. You look forward to it. So I think that's the consistency of doing good things for yourself is really, really important. And we all have negative thoughts. So, we need to have sort of like tools in place to reframe our negative thoughts. And remember that like confidence is a muscle, right? It's not a mood. It's like, you build confidence. So, if you're thinking something negative, how can you sort of flip it and go, okay, cool. Well, how can I think about this in a different way? And shift your thoughts from material achievements to like meaningful contributions, like try be of service, right? Try helping people, try do something like that. And you shift your mindset, you start feeling better about yourself when you're helping other people. And that one of the main things is like exercise. Seriously, like don't give that up. It doesn't matter how old you get, just sort of do something, if it's the gardening, going for a walk, yoga, like, younger, obviously, like push yourself as much as you can, get a sweat on. I genuinely believe that there's a sort of like threshold of about 20 minutes of training where you can go from having the absolute worst day to having, a complete change in mindset and shift move the trajectory and your thought pattern completely. If you do 20 minutes of like quite strong sort of exercise where you at least build up a bit of a sweat and you can get out of that funk that you're feeling no matter what. And then, find yourself some community. Seriously, like one of the most important things for your mindset is to find other people that are similar to you, going through similar experiences, or just anyone, right? And talk to people. You'll be so surprised that, the thing that's bugging you is actually also bugging 20 other people. And it kind of almost makes you feel good about yourself, or better about yourself at least, because you don't feel like, oh, I'm the only one in the world that this is happening to, or is feeling like this, right? So, man, it's one of the most important things. And yeah, like I guess then it comes to like down to why even do this. Okay, so a resilient mindset helps you bounce back from meltdowns. It allows you to manage your stress better, and it just allows you to be like a stronger person emotionally. You react better in situations, and that's so important. Especially in this day and age, man. Anything can trigger people, anything these days, and we need to not allow that to happen, right? So yeah. And the last one is also, I guess, a saying and a quote, and it's like, too many people are lacking the self-belief when it comes to what they are capable of. I truly believe, I'm saying truly believe a lot, that we are capable of so much more than we can possibly think and possibly imagine. If we just had like a few tools, if we were just that little bit stronger, if we stuck at something, and yeah, you'll be so surprised at what you can actually achieve if you put your mind to it. And this is the last thing to end off on, to give you something to think about. People are never able to outperform their own self-image. If you put a small value on yourself, rest assured the world will not raise the price. Okay, so again, it comes into that self-belief. Start believing in yourself, because if you're not, nobody else is going to either, right? And just find the smallest thing to start believing in yourself, and then build on that daily and daily and daily. So anyway, just some thoughts on mindset, and hopefully it's helpful. I just kind of want everyone in the world to be as strong and resilient as possible, and to get us through these chaotic periods that we're going through right now, and just to be better humans at the end of the day. So look after yourselves, keep smiling, and see you soon. Ciao.